and welcome to episode 8 of Project Milano. I know it's been quite a while since the last episode, but I have a deadline on this build and need to get Milano finished for our annual club model show on Sunday, August the 17th. It's our charity event to support the chestnut appeal for men's health, and the show is getting bigger and better each year. Milano will be on display to the public for the first and last time, before it goes to a collector. Normally the videos follow the build, but as this video drops, Milano is already finished. The files are available through my website, and I've already have the final videos in the can ready to edit. There's a link in the description to Milano on my website. Okay, let's crack on with episode 8. In the last episode you saw all the parts getting 3D printed on my Elegoo Jupiter SE, using Elegoo ABS-like resin in space grey. In this episode we're going to get Milano assembled and ready for paint. With the supports now removed, the main hull was given a light sanding to detect any areas that needed attention, to help get the perfect paint finish later. This test building is crucial, as it flags any errors or issues that need resolving prior to release of the files. The large parts like these hull wings are spectacular prints, and like the hull needed very little cleaning up. The holes for the outer wing mounts and hull fixings are nice and clean, which is crucial for what comes next. To attach the hull wings to the main hull, we're going to be using 3.2mm brass pins and M3 nuts and bolts. There are a lot of forces at play with Milano, so a structural plan and rock-solid fixings are crucial. We begin by supergluing the brass pins into the lower two holes of each of the hull wings. These holes will need carefully opening up to the correct size for the best fit. The M3 bolts are also superglued into place once inserted from the inside of the hull wings to stop them rotating during tightening. After test fitting and adjustment, the wings can then be attached. I was amazed at how well everything aligned. Certainly there's way less cleaning up than I expected. This is down to the quality of the printer, as both of the parts were taken from the same mesh and should naturally align. Nuts are then added to the M3 bolts, and then they're tightened down. There's good access to tighten these from the back of the hull and the cockpit opening. This gives plenty of opportunity for refitting and adjustment prior to final gluing up. I'm using low viscosity superglue with an applicator to bond these parts together, as it'll flow into all the joints perfectly. Here the superglue is being added to the outer joint, but the inside joints are also flooded with glue at this stage to make sure the wings never come off. And here it is, after the superglue is cured, and I've had a first pass at some of the joints, scraping with a curved scalpel blade and some gentle sanding. Of course, I'll need to do some filling, but way less than I was expecting. The bonds are so good, I can wave the hull around by one wing. It's now starting to get some weight, but is looking awesome. And this is how I evened out the joints, scraping them down with a curved scalpel blade. It's really controllable, and makes way less mess than filing and sanding. I will file and sand later, but using this method I can judge really well what the seam needs. To mount Milano on its stand, I have this ABS printed block with an M12 hex connector force fitted into it. The temporary screw is to allow the mount to be withdrawn during test fitting into the main hull. The main mount slides into place and is aligned using temporary M12 bolts, top and bottom. Once I'm happy with the alignment, the temporary screw in the rear of the mount can be removed. The joint is then flooded with low viscosity superglue, as it's the last thing I want to break loose in the hull. The M12 alignment bolts can now be unscrewed and removed. I designed and drew up plans for a stand, and a few days later my friendly neighbourhood engineer presented me with this beauty. I wanted something that didn't have a front and reflected the style of Milano, so the boss was based on parts I'd designed for the cockpit. Everything had been polished and waxed to protect the surface finish. The main post was a precision fit. The whole base is a work of art. Thank you, Baz. The central post can be locked in place with a grub screw, keeping everything stable and solid. Because we aligned the mount earlier, the mounting post now easily screws into place through the underside of the hull, and I can use it to pick up Milano. Okay, now onto the rear end of Milano. We're going to start with the thrusters. All 4 thrusters are of the same construction. A central core attaches to the main body, and then the inner and outer rings are joined, which are then also fitted to the main body. The thrusters are then held in place with 10mm by 3mm magnets with holes in. The holes are so you can run wiring for lights, if you wish. The magnets allow you to pose the thrusters at any angle you like, and replace any that get damaged. Once assembled, you should end up with something like this. These are the 4 rear thrusters, a large and small one for each side of Milano. They have a lot of detail, so there's plenty of scope for paint effects here. The rear hull will have to be painted before final assembly, but here's how it goes together dry. The rear guns are attached to the rear cockpit, making sure they're perpendicular to the back face of the unit. Then the upper plate is added, and the sub-assembly can be inserted into one side of the hull. With the main engine added, the other side of the rear hull can be attached, completing the sub-assembly. Now for the wings. There are 4 wings on each side of Milano. Let's start with the bottom one. This lower wing has a built-in thruster, and these are handed left and right, and only align one way, so you have to be careful when fitting them. This is how it should look when correctly installed. The upper wing is supposed to hinge and rotate. To help it stay in place, I've allowed for 8mm by 3mm magnets to be used. A brass rod acts as a hinge pin to secure the wing to the main mount. The upper wing has a built-in stop to set it to the correct angle. With the sub-assemblies built up, I can now assemble the complete wing unit. The lower wing positively fits into the main wing with a large square mounting lug. Then the rear wing can be fitted into the slot at the rear. There are hard points to ensure the correct location of the rear wing. And that's the wing complete. Just got to do the other side now. Of course, there's plenty of details to add to the main hull. There are 2 massive thrusters that need to be assembled and fitted. Their covers are handed and fit onto the hull very exactly. The outboard arm of these thrusters fits against the root end of the lower wing. This helps support the wing and may need packing out with some styrene sheet for best fit. It's really easy to do with Milano on its stand. Just take your time. The lower exhaust tuck neatly into the underside of the main hull and are followed by the trailing edge flaps and radiators. The trailing edge flaps push up into the underside of the main body, positively locating on large blocks. The radiator blocks then just slot in underneath. All these parts are handed left and right, and are best fitted after the rear hull has been finally glued in place. Behind the cockpit is a large cover panel that forms the upper tail of Milano. This locates in several places for perfect alignment. Left and right flaps are also added to the rear of the cockpit opening. One of the main issues with ships like Milano is the canopy, which is best vacuum formed. A file for printing the canopy mould is included. This was printed on my FDM printer in ABS, then sanded and polished. The goal was to avoid filler, as it can pull out of the print and ruin the canopy. With care and patience, I managed to get a smooth finish, which would translate to the vac forms. To go outside the vac form, I printed the canopy frame. This is very thin and easily damaged, so it was removed from the supports under hot water. The frame came out really well, and with a little cleaning up, fitted to the buck perfectly. Now I need to give the buck some weight and thermal mass to give it resilience during vac forming. I'm using a plaster material called stone cast. It's like plaster of Paris, but more durable. It's mixed up and poured in the back of the buck. I need to get as many air bubbles out as possible and then level the surface. Once set hard, the surface was levelled with rasps and files, so the buck would sit flat in the vac former. And here's one of the first pulls of the canopy. Not perfect, but certainly good enough for the prototype. It just needs some careful trimming. Once trimmed, there's not much left, but having a clear gloss canopy makes such a difference to a model, especially Milano. After a bit of fettling of the canopy sill, the vac form and frame sit perfectly in the hull. The goal is for the frame to sit flush with the hull. That's good enough for me. Okay, let's see how everything looks assembled. At this stage, nothing is glued together, as many of the parts will be painted individually. Gravity is the main glue here. The rear hull is taped on and the thrusters are held on by the magnets. The wing assemblies are just plugged into the ends of the hull unit. After measuring up, Milano came in with a wingspan of just over a metre, a depth of 560mm and a height of 270mm on the stand. The level of detail on the model is fantastic, and the accuracy of the prints from the Jupiter SE is exceptional. Using the Elegoo ABS-like resin, I'm confident in the strength and durability of Milano. I'm yet to weigh Milano, because as you may have noticed, something's missing, something fairly crucial. The cockpit, and more importantly, its crew. As you may know, I'm trying to recreate the closing scene from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, but at this stage of the build, I have no means to add the crew. But I did have a plan, or maybe 12% of a plan, but you'll have to wait to the next episode to find out more about that. Don't forget, if you want to build your own Milano, check out the Staples & Vine website, where you can buy and download the files. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Project Milano. If you have, please share with your friends and make sure you subscribe to my channel. So you catch my next video when it goes live, click on the bell icon. To learn about some of the techniques I use, check out my how-to series to find out more about moulding, casting, CAD design and 3D printing. If you have any questions about Project Milano, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.